A baseball team where they want you to eat the mascot? I'm in. It's so good when it hits your lips. So good. ASMR.
Take me out to the ballgame. Take me out. Welcome to Let's Get To, your tour of America through the lens of minor league baseball. Baseball from sea to shining sea. And now, the first pitch. Opening thoughts from James Christopher. Presented by BaseballMapper.com.
And thanks for tuning in to Let's Get To. I am your host, James Christopher, and I'm going to get back out to Colorado Springs, home of your Rocky Mountain vibes, in just a second. But, I use the first pitch segment for a lot of reasons. And welcome to Let's Get To. And thanks for joining. And thank you for tuning in to Let's Get To. I am your host, James Christopher, and we're going to get back out to Colorado Springs, home of your Rocky Mountain vibes, in just a second. But I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I think could be a growing problem. Think of it as a PSA for all minor league baseball fans out there. I use this platform for lots of things, to talk about baseball, obviously, talk about things that are good in the game, things that maybe aren't good in the game. And sometimes I talk politics, but I noticed something when I was getting ready to buy tickets for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, which is an episode you'll see a little bit later on this season. And I Googled the name of the team and I Googled tickets. And I realized that the first 2 to 3 responses were things like StubHub, resale venues. So I tried it with a couple of other teams. Same result. Never, not once, was the actual team's ticketing part of its website the first thing that came up on Google. Not a one. Pair that with, talking to a member of the front office of one of the teams in the Pioneer League. And he was talking about how someone, a regular customer, had bought tickets from what she thought was this team. I'm not going to name the team right now. And she bought one too many. And they have a pretty liberal return exchange policy. So they brought it in, or she brought the ticket to the front office. And she realized, for one, she didn't buy the ticket from the team in question. And two, she paid about 3 times the face value of the ticket for a game in which plenty of seats were available. This is a problem. You have to make sure that you're buying tickets directly from the team that you are going to see. Now, yes, these teams use third-party platforms to sell tickets. Ticket Return or tickets.com. Those are all legit websites that they work in part with the team. Resale sites do not. And so if you accidentally buy tickets from a resale site, not only are you costing yourself a lot more money, but the team actually isn't making as much on those tickets. So everybody loses except for StubHub, for lack of a better term. We have to make sure that you're going to the team's website, that you're clicking the buy tickets link and buying directly from them. There's I cannot think of a single case in which I've not been able to buy a ticket to a minor league game I wanted to go to that I had to use a resale site. I'm sure it happens. I'm sure if you've got Star Wars night on fireworks night and there's a concert after, maybe, is Bruce Springsteen playing afterward? Almost never do you have to do that. So please, for the sake of your wallet, for the sake of the team, make sure you're actually going to the team's website when you buy your game day tickets.
On the St. Louis team, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
That's what I want to find out. I want you to tell me the names of the fellas on the St. Louis team.
I'm telling you, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
Do you know the fellas' names?
Yes.
Well, then who's playing first?
Yes.
I mean, the fellas'
Who's
names
on first? The Let's Get To team of the week.
The guy on first base.
Presented by the Baseball Bucket List Podcast.
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
All right, we're excited to welcome Let's Get To as we dive into covering the Rocky Mountain Vibes. Kay Goodell, she is the director of marketing for the Vibes. Kay, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. For the viewers out there, this is one of the few cases where we've actually been to the park already, so it's going to feel wonky in the timeline. We had a great time. Thank you very much for rolling out the red carpet.
Yeah, no, it was a fun night, and we were excited to have you guys come out. So I'm glad you picked a night that it wasn't super rainy.
We'll talk about y'all's resilience for the rain in the episode as we keep going. But I want to talk a little bit about you, because I know you've been around the game for a minute, and just curious as how you went from someone who I presume liked baseball, liked sports, to now. I mean, the Vibe's one of the most recognizable brands in minor league baseball, and to be serving in this position, it's a pretty big deal.
I mean, when they rebranded a couple years back, I was an intern in Iowa, and me and all of the other interns were just in awe. We're like, we have to work here. We want to work here. This is amazing. For it to come full circle and years later, me being in my dream state where I've always wanted to live, as well as my dream team, it's incredible.
How did you jump into the path that you're on, working in sports and working in minor league baseball in specific?
It's been a long time. I started doing summer college ball, working there over on the East Coast. And then I was given the opportunity to go to the Iowa Cubs. So I spent a season there, which turned into me going over to the New Orleans Baby Cakes in their last season.
Wow.
So I spent a season there. And then with the whole COVID break, I took a break and did a lot of traveling, actually, in my camper van. And then I was living in Colorado permanently, and the opportunity came up for a sales role here, and I immediately applied and got in, and it's just expanded since then.
I want to talk a little bit about your Baby Cakes time, because New Orleans has had a very hard time holding on to a baseball team. Do you think baseball can work there, or is it just something that's always going to be in flux?
I think so. There was a town, and they were dedicated, and they do love baseball. I know when we were leaving, most people were angry at us because we were leaving and they didn't get baseball anymore. I believe rugby came in and they used the ballpark, but it still looks like a baseball diamond, and it's sad to watch.
Yeah,
because they need baseball. Everywhere needs baseball.
Let's talk a little bit about the Vibes then. You guys are in Colorado Springs, which is, again, another really rich baseball history as far as minor leagues go. But you changed the types of baseball from affiliated to now independent as a result of the pandemic. Do you feel like does the crowd get it? Does the crowd understand, or do they have a reaction one way or the other?
Yeah, for the most part, some people notice. They always ask, like, "Oh, what's the farm team here?" So people always wonder that, and it's a little different to explain. But really, we're here to put on an event and a show, and that's what matters more to me, especially from the marketing standpoint. Is pretty much everything off the field is what I want to bring to the town, and the excitement and the families that come out to enjoy the night. So that's really my main focus, rather than that team on the field and where they're coming from and where they're going.
How do you then? What are some of the best ways that you do that? I mean, it's so weird how media's changed. I guess I'm way older than you. I've seen it change. You were at least aware that it changed. But what are some of the best strategies to reach this population? Is it stuff that's sort of physical? Is it more social? How do you guys do that?
Yeah, it's definitely, we heavily relied on our social media. Having that rebrand and the Vibes name out there really made it huge for us and gets our name out there a lot. So that's an easy way for us to throw things in. But when it comes to game nights, inviting local businesses to come out, like local petting zoos, local rodeos, and making it a very big local aspect, that's how we get around in this town. And that's what we want to do. We're a local business. We want to support each other. We want to bring everyone out. And then that just excites people more, whether it be having the local face painter come out, to local other mascots, all those different things, really is what entices people to come to our games, the fireworks, the theme nights, all that stuff.
Does it feel like Colorado Springs' team? Like, do you get that sense from the community that, yes, this is our baseball team and we love them?
That way, we have so many local businesses that we partner with and that make the nights at the ballpark so magical and so special. And it really it wouldn't work without our local businesses in Colorado coming together to make the ballpark nights incredible.
All right. So the first thing I think I saw you do as a sort of professional, as part of the Vibes, was help roll up the tarp. And we've actually got some fun video. I sped it up a little bit. I might put the Benny Hill theme in, but I mean, but how much of that is minor league baseball that you really have to be ready to do your job? And then, by the way, we need to move the tarp. Like, how much of that is sort of wearing a bunch of different hats, and is it part of the fun?
It's why I love minor league baseball. Whether you're with AAA or down here in indie ball, like you're all hands on deck. I am helping in every department when needed, especially the tarp. We're always down on the field for that tarp because that's how it runs. It runs like a family, and that's I think what makes minor league baseball so special and so much fun is because even on the front office side, you're a close knit family. You are helping with everything to make all of it a success. Whether it be hanging up banners, doing the tarp, helping concessions some days, like you get to do everything, and that really is what drew me to be in minor league baseball and to stay in minor league baseball because I don't have the same job every day. Every day I'm doing something different. Some days I don't even touch my office or go sit at my desk to pick up the phone because I just don't have time because I'm helping with other things. And that's really what I enjoy about it. If I had to sit and just make sales calls every day or just do marketing every day, I think I would get bored.
So you're a woman in a male dominated field. We talked about a little bit about this at the ballpark, and you're in a forward facing front of the franchise type of position. Do you feel like you're doing something special as far as girls who are going to see you and say, I can do that too?
I like to think so. I've of course looked up to other women in other roles and have said, I want to be that one day. I mean, Rachel down in Florida is a phenomenal person that we all look up to. And that's just like, you always kind of idolize that. And you're like, I hope maybe one day that I'm doing that for someone else. So I would like to think so. I've always been in a role where there aren't a lot of males, and it's never really bothered me or anything. It's exciting really to be the standout kind of for it.
And do you find yourself supported for the most part in the industry?
Gosh, yeah, it has been the most supportive. Really, they don't see me as a woman in sports. And we always, sometimes I joke, I'm like, women in sports, but no, we're all equals. There's no really line there.
I absolutely love that. All right. Clear your head. We're going to play a little pepper. You ready?
All righty.
All right. Use the force if you need to. All right. What is your go-to ballpark food?
The glizzies. I eat probably a ballpark hot dog every single day. It's so bad.
And you guys have like a wide variety of options. When I had a Polish dog when I was up there, there's a mac and cheese thing. You guys really dove into the whole hot dog variety with both feet.
Mac and cheese hot dog with extra sauteed onions. That's my absolute favorite.
All right.
That concession stand knows me very well.
Okay. All right. Marvel or DC? All right. Marvel. Very good. All right. What's the strangest thing you've ever seen at a ballpark?
Strangest. That's a tough one. I did see a streaker one time. He only took his shirt off, so it wasn't like a full streaker, but he took the field and the outfield, and I was like too far away to be able to go and get involved, but I was like, oh my.
So you didn't get the full streaker experience. You know, that's just really ridiculous. If you don't have to chase a half naked greased up man, what's the point? Dogs or cats? Dogs all the way. All right. What's your favorite team brand in minor league baseball that is not the Vibes?
Trash Pandas.
The Rocket City Trash Pandas. Yeah, they are. I'm going to get to go see them next year. I really can't wait. They're fantastic. What's the first time that baseball broke your heart?
Oh man, well I grew up a Red Sox fan, so 2004 was just a roller coaster. Man, yeah, probably the Red Sox would do it. Early Red Sox in the early 2000s, really just.
Okay. When you go to a new ballpark, where is your favorite place to sit to check the ballpark out?
Big fan of the outfield berm. I like going to the far out places and getting to sit down in the grass and watch from there.
So many people say the outfield, and it's so funny to me, like people that are intimate in the business want to see it all, and you get like sort of pedestrian, like behind home plate. But at the end of the day, you can only see so much if you're right behind home plate. Okay, last question. It's February in Colorado Springs. You're freezing. What baseball movie do you throw on to put you in the mood?
My instant reaction is to say Benchwarmers because I just watched it again. but I'm a huge Field of Dreams fan. You get a hot chocolate and a blanket, and Field of Dreams is what you got to do.
Field of Dreams. It's so funny. I've been able to track like my maturity from a young man to an adult with grandkids to be like, used to be Major League, then it was Field of Dreams, and now it's like the old man story in Field of Dreams. It's very, very interesting to watch all this. So, Kay, tell me real quick, what else can we look forward to at the end of the season? And have y'all already started putting stuff together for next year?
Fully planning next year already. I've got a whole binder ready to go, just because I came in April this year. So a lot of the theme nights and everything weren't really my touch. So I'm heavily planning next season, but we still have a lot of fun theme nights coming up. We have 90s night coming, which is going to be my absolute favorite. I mean, my natural hair is just, I was born for the 90s. Like I just rock that look and everything. So that's probably going to be my favorite night we've got coming up. We wear our Copa one more time this season. And so we've got that and some jersey auctions coming up finally now that it's the last time we'll be wearing these ones this year.
Cannot wait to watch from afar. She is Kay Goodell. She's the director of marketing for your Rocky Mountain Vibes. Thanks so much for joining Let's Get To.
From the bleachers, the Let's Get To Game of the Week.
And welcome to From the Bleachers. I'm coming to you from the bleachers of UC Health Park, home of your Rocky Mountain Vibes. We're having a great time. Paul Caputo from Baseball by Design is here. You've got 2 podcasts covering 2 games. That's right. Let's Get To is here to watch them play 2. Check out how our afternoon in Colorado Springs went.
While the sky might look gloomy to you, Paul Caputo and I didn't feel it. We were going to a doubleheader. And it was basically Let's Get To day at the Vibes as they got ready to play 2. It was really great to have Paul from Baseball by Design at the ballpark with me. Really great person, runs a great show, and a great carrier of film gear. We were having a blast. We even got the chance to toss out the first pitches.
First, we have Army veteran James Christopher, host of the podcast Let's Get To. You can talk baseball, James, but let's see that arm. Great toss, James. Next, we have another podcaster, Paul Caputo, host of Baseball by Design. Show us what you got, Paul. Great throw.
Thanks to all the Vibe staff and especially Toasty for his support. I couldn't have done it without him. But yes, across 2 games, the skies did threaten, but the staff of the Vibes were undeterred. The rain cleared, the tarp came off, and we were ready for some baseball. UMC Health Park, located in the heart of the Springs, is a great place to watch a game. Lots of seating options, never too far away from the action. It embodies what you look for in a good minor league park. Of note are the 2 spots where the outfield wall curves to 350 down the lines, creating unique areas for all manner of weird bounces. But I especially love the twin cutouts in the outfield. I love them so much, in fact, that this will be your Scotty Mac Dimension Porn of the Week. The grounds crew gets to work and starts soaking the infield dirt for the upcoming twin bill. The first thing that grabs you at a Vibes game is the brand. It's fun, unique, and is made up of a diverse set of variant looks, all playing off that fun campfire theme that reflects Colorado's natural beauty. It also screams the best parts of minor league baseball. It doesn't ever take itself too seriously and is easily accessible. The brand is embodied in one of the most unique mascots in the history of people dressing up in suits as anthropomorphic something or others. Toasty the S'more. He's all over the ballpark, he's hanging out, taking photos, having a blast, a real celebrity, choosing to hang out with 2 celebrities. You know how we run together. Now the food at the ballpark is especially on point, with some of the best hot dog choices I've ever seen. But what really stands apart, what really makes a Vibes game special, is the s'mores. You buy a kit at the concession stand, get your stick, and head over to the fire pit and make them. And make a mess. Most everyone is a huge fan of the s'mores. Like I said, most everyone. Toasty not so much. But a big shout out goes to the guys who are enjoying the game and the beer bats. I think I counted 4 total bats consumed. But they were a blast. They were in on every pitch, celebrating home runs. And it was a big part of what made the game day special. They could have easily been super obnoxious, and instead, they really added to the energy that was in the ballpark. We had a great time at the game. Great people from the Vibes really supporting us and our show. It was lots of fun to meet and hang out with Paul. We've been friends for a while online, and it's great to have this game bring people into your lives that really matter and add a positive change to them. And of course, would my life be the same without Toasty? I don't think so. Tops doesn't think so either, and I always listen to Tops. So it's time to say goodbye to Colorado, the Vibes, and the beautiful Rocky Mountains looking over the field. But this was our first game in Colorado, which means we can turn the map from navy to rainbow and add the Vibes logo to our Quest for 50 map.
Ladies and gentlemen, please adjust your scorecards. We have a special guest in the lineup.
And so we're excited to welcome back to Let's Get To Dean McKissock. He is, among other things, the military liaison for your Rocky Mountain Vibes. Dean, first of all, very cool to get to meet you in person, what feels like a month ago, but really like 2 weeks or 10 days.
Yeah, baseball has, or minor league baseball for that matter too, tends to do that. It's a bit of a time warp, especially, once that season starts, the season ends. It's like entering a black hole. I couldn't tell you when the season started. Could have been a year ago. Could have been 2 days ago. So I'm right there with you. Thanks for having me back on. It's always a blast.
So when we last spoke, it was at the end of the 2021 season, and it was obviously an adjustment for everybody coming out of the pandemic. How has 2022 been? Does it feel more normal? Does it feel like we can focus on baseball?
It sure does. 2021, the offseason going into that season, we were doing pod seeding. We were trying to figure out how best we can have a safe environment here. Whereas this season has been just baseball. Open that stadium up. Let's fill it up. Get butts in seats. And that's been our number one concern. And it's been amazing. This year has been really surreal, kind of getting back into the swing of things. And we couldn't be more excited.
Thinking about that, then it's also the second year where y'all are playing a different kind of baseball than a lot of the fans are used to. Mm-hmm. How has that adjustment been? Do they care? Do they get it? Are they into it? I mean, or is it just they missed having the whole affiliated baseball thing?
I think with the MLB partnership, the fans and the fact that we're getting, guys that get plucked right out of our league, getting unsigned by MLB teams, I don't think the fans are in any way feel like there's been a drop in quality on play. And in fact, we're just able to do a little bit more fun stuff, have a little bit more freedom in between innings. Some people might naturally think, are they like the Savannah Banana? No, not like that. We're not there. Well, it is pure baseball. So we're not ostracizing any of our purists. So it's a best of both worlds. I think, you're mentioning there's the knockout round in our league, which minor league at the lowest levels are adopting. In fact, All-Star game that was on the potential of happening if the game were to be tied, and the knockout round being a little mini home run derby to settle things rather than burning arms and burning daylight even further. So it's just little things like that we're able to experiment in this league that make our league just a little bit different than what people are typically used to, while not maybe tipping the scales too far one end. And like you said, baseball, there's some purists, and we would hate to lose those guys.
That was definitely the most delicate way anybody has ever has ever approached the topic of the Savannah Bananas, both pro or con. I really appreciate the political answer that you gave there.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean they're fun, but exactly. Um, but talk a little bit about like the purest thing, the knockout round. That sounds awesome. We were there for 2 games, and all we were hoping for was at least one
Right.
tie. Like that's all we wanted. Have you had many, and are the fans into it?
We've had one this year. Last year, I think we had three, maybe two. I know. Last year, the second game of the entire season, we had one. We won, and we looked. All of us looked at each other like, "Oh, we have a winner here with this. This is as fun as it gets." And yeah, there's a little bit inside of us, like on the July 4th game, it was like, "Oh, this goes into extra innings here." Leading into fireworks after this, I mean, we're the best show in town if that happens. And it didn't end up being that. But yes, there is a little part of us every game where it's like, wouldn't hate it for this thing to go in a little home run derby action to decide it.
I would actually be all for the MLB like adopting it after like the 11th, right? Like play 2 innings, no more ghost runner because that's
Yeah,
dumb. And then get after it. It's no different in hockey. That's how they pretty much do it,
right.
right? And
Yeah,
yeah, I would definitely be down for it. One of your main gigs or one of your gigs with the team is military liaison stuff.
sure.
How is that going this year? How has that relationship developed? I know that especially as you stay in the job longer and longer.
Oh, it's been incredible. This year, with the full off season, being able to build and forge those relationships further has been incredibly rewarding. Cross Country Mortgage, got to shout them out. They've been an incredible partner, sponsoring a majority of our Sunday military appreciation nights, getting out, being able to disseminate tickets on bases, on the various posts, bringing Toasty, kind of making a big thing of it, a spectacle, and saying, guys, this is a place where your families can come in here any home game on a Sunday and get in for free, which is, in my opinion, what these guys deserve. These men and women deserve is to come in and know that there's a place here that just wants to say thank you, and have them be recognized for all that they do. The game you came out for, I believe, was that a Saturday game or was that which
No, it was
two
a
games for
Thirsty
you?
Thursday. It was Thirsty
Thirsty.
Thursday. Yeah.
So, and that's exactly. I remember in the off season we had switched for our first interview. We were in the old school where we had our military appreciation nights on Thursday. After a couple conversations with the different base, we have come to a conclusion that maybe moving this thing to Sunday would even maximize the effectiveness even more so. And that's exactly what we did, and it was a good move. We've noticed an uptick, and which is unfortunate because I think that was kind of one of the points of you coming out on that Thursday was to see the military night in action, being that we are a absolute hub for military. We have 4 or 5 bases all around in the same vicinity, all different branches of the military. It is our one or two. As the liaison, I have a bit of a bias. It's our number one priority. Is servicing those men and women and their families, retired, current, doesn't matter. You served, or someone in your family that served. We're going to take care of you.
Yeah, it's funny. They gave the veteran discount to Paul Caputo, and he's like, "Well, I'm with the veteran," so they're like, "Cool, here you go." Which I thought, well, he said he had some stolen valor there, but I didn't care. It's fine.
Yeah, that is our philosophy is we're not going to be nitpicky about it. We'll take your word for it. You come in, you tell us that, hey, my dad served. Okay, get on in here for free because as a military brat myself, a military family, there's sacrifices that everyone have to make when someone in your family has the honor of that job. So we just, like I said, reiterate, we just want to let them know this is a place for them. We're not going to charge you in any way. You outside of food and beverage, a little bit hard with that stuff.
Yeah.
With the costs on that. But as far as a ticket, parking, get on in here. We want to make sure that you're taken care of.
It's funny. I had Patrick Newt, who's one of the guys behind Baseball Mapper, is also an Air Force vet. And, we were talking about just how important it was when we were in and away from family to do something. It's almost like going to Catholic church, right? It's the same everywhere you go. And baseball is that thing. It makes you really feel connected to where you, even while you're away. And I think it's such an important thing that you guys reach out. And I'll tell you, There are a lot of baseball teams near Army posts or Air Force bases or naval bases. They don't put the effort that you guys do. So kudos to that.
Well, we love hearing that, and thank you for your service. And yeah, it's we one of our main inspirations is how the San Diego Padres do it. They do it right, and that's how we want to be. And being that we are a hub for it, that's not going to change anytime soon. I can promise you that.
Well, again, you guys do a wonderful job, but now the big test begins with clearing your head. I know you played a little rapid fire with us last time, I think.
Sure.
But the questions are mostly different. So,
okay,
get ready. All right, what's your go-to ballpark food?
Oh, probably the hot dog. The Dodger dog. I know they changed the hot dog from Farmer's John hot dogs, and I mean that might have caused a riot all across California when that happened, because those hot dogs were synonymous with some good Dodger baseball. So yeah, I'd say if I'm going to a baseball game, I'm getting a hot dog.
All right, Marvel or DC?
DC.
All right, good. I like that.
I'm a Batman guy.
Yeah, I got a little Batman bobble up here with his little.
I'm trying to see. I have a whole collection of bobbleheads too. I don't know if it's Captain America up there. No, yeah, I don't have any Batman bobbleheads, but I'm repping always.
I love it. All right, strangest or weirdest thing you've seen at a ballpark?
Let me think about this one. Strangest or weirdest thing? Well, this year we with the tarp, this is a classic one. When you're pulling the tarp, it is fast, and when the wind is going, it can be a bit of a rocky situation if you're not careful. And we had one of our interns, I'm not going to say any names, but we had one intern who is now at this point is a legend almost, because it has been 3 times he or she, I don't want to even give it away, that he or she has been rolled up into that tarp as we pulled it out. And now we have hit he or she on the very outside because we don't want any more situations. So I think that has been, I don't know about the strangest, but just the funniest. Just every tarp pull, we make a joke. Like, now remember, you got to move here. You're going to be rolled up.
You're going to be toast. Yeah, that's actually hilarious. I've never heard that. We had Kay on the segment before you, and she said she saw half a streaker once. So you win.
I hope it was hope it was only a top half.
It was a top half. Yeah, we definitely discussed. But if you're not chasing a streaker that's not like oiled up or something, then you're missing the whole experience. All right, dogs or cats?
Oh man, dogs.
Yeah. I don't know a lot of baseball people that are cat people.
Yeah, I know. How many people answer cats over dogs? I can't imagine someone being a cat person over a dog person, but I know they're out there.
I think we've had 2 in the entire history of this show that say they were cat people.
There you go. There you go.
One of them was for the Omaha Storm Chasers, and they did have Take Me Out to the ball game where you could bring your cat, and I really wish I could have been there for that. What's your favorite team brand in minor league baseball that's not the Rocky Mountain Vibes?
Sure. I love Biloxi. I love the logo. I love the name. I love anything like that makes you laugh like that. Shuckers.
Yeah. And they put on a great show too. I've actually got there he is back there.
Get out of town. Maybe that was it was like subconscious. I noticed that when you came in, but yeah, what a good logo.
It's so good. And they were so nice. It was a really, really good experience. We drove out there. It was so much fun. All right. Star Wars or Harry Potter?
Oh man, James, you got to step up. These are no brainers. This Star Wars all day, all night, and twice on Sunday.
Okay. All right. Here's a tough one for you.
Okay.
Kevin Costner as a cowboy or a ball player?
Kevin Costner is a ball player.
You know, he won an Oscar playing a cowboy.
But anytime you see an actor that doesn't look like they're thrown with the wrong arm, it is such a win in my book. I mean, nothing rubs me the wrong way than watching a basketball movie or a baseball movie. And it's like, just get a stand-in. Like that's
Yeah.
atrocious. So Kevin Costner has earned my respect. Charlie Sheen has earned my respect. Naturally, both these guys were some studs back in their day. So yes, anytime an actor can show that they were an athlete, I always tip my cap.
We had a DB Sweeney on the show who played Shoeless Joe in 8 Men Out, and he spent like 2 months in the minors learning to bat left-handed, was offered the role in Field of Dreams and turned it down because he didn't want to be typecast. He says the biggest mistake he's ever made because
I bet so.
He was supposed to be Shoeless Joe again, and then they got, Ray Liotta, which is fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rest
in peace.
Going to a new ballpark, where's your favorite place to sit?
I'd love probably, let's say 12 to 8 rows up, because I got to consider price here. Can't say just first row. Sometimes those are, I gotta be cost efficient here. I'd say like 12 or 15 rows up, first base side. Get to look into the visitor dugout, which I like, especially if I'm going to a Rockies game. I've been there, done that, looked into the Rockies dugout. So I like being on first base side. Get to look into the visitor team dugout.
All right, the last question. It's a cold night in Colorado Springs. You want to get in the mood to watch some baseball. What movie do you throw on?
Gosh, let me Google it real quick. My favorite movie. My grandfather showed me, and I don't want the wrong movie. Got my computer in front of me, so this won't be hard.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Little Big League. Big League, where that's an example of a movie where every actor is really good at baseball, and I think that is literally the reason why I love it so much. Every actor in that movie really. Timothy Busfield, who plays. Now I'm able to name drop all of these guys because you got the cast right in front of me. Timothy Busfield is a stud in Little Big League.
Yeah, it's funny.
Maybe you want to be a manager too.
I think it came out around the same time as Rookie of the Year, and I'd never had any interest in Rookie of the Year, but I was a big fan of Little Big League. And that, Dean, is how we play. Pepper, thanks again so much for being on Let's Get To, and thanks for welcoming us out. We had an absolute blast.
My pleasure, and anytime, please, let's make a thing of it. Come on out next year.
Holler and a Swaller, a chug of ballpark brew. Presented by The Hitter Sports.
All right, we are here for Holler and a Swaller. Paul Caputo, you know him from Baseball by Design, Counts of Baseball on Twitter. We're having a couple drinks, and we're going to talk about all kinds of things. But the first thing I need to talk to you about is the embarrassing crime you've committed.
So I lied. I lied on Twitter.
You lied on Twitter, but
yeah.
you lied to me. But most important, you lied to this dog.
I did.
And you told this dog you were going to give the dog a ball.
So I tweeted a picture of a dog, and I said, if I catch a foul ball, which never happens, I don't think I'm going to catch a foul ball, I'm giving it to the dog.
You promised like 8 people the foul ball. You're like, well, no, I can't. I'm not getting it.
I promised a lot of people a foul ball. Like, who's going to hold me accountable, right?
Yeah.
So sure enough, foul ball comes our way. I don't catch it on the fly, but I do catch it one-handed.
And it was pretty awesome.
I feel like it was a pretty
good
catch.
You tracked it because you had to climb over like 2 rows of seats.
I did. I had to move. It was like a 2-hopper off the wall, caught it on the bounce, and took off running. I mean, there was no hesitation.
No.
Right? Took off running, passed to the dog.
Past the dog.
Right past the dog, and gave it to a little girl who clutched it with enthusiasm and a huge smile on her face for the rest of the game. So guess what? I love dogs, but I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all about
that
giving that ball to a kid.
Dog is going to live 4 or 5 more years. That
That's
girl's
true.
going to live 80-something years.
That's true. That's true. She's going to have that ball forever.
Disappointing. I'd also like some credit because I called it off the bat that you were going to get that ball.
That's true. You did. You were like, Paul, get it.
This
Paul,
is
get
you.
it.
I think I said, this is you.
You gave me hope. You made me believe that I could catch that foul ball.
And you did. And it was awesome. And I know that some of our friends don't believe it.
Listen, if it's on your show, it's got to be true. Right? We're not making this up.
I don't lie about anything on this show. So we're here, Rocky Mountain Vibes. This is a ballpark you know pretty well.
I do. I've been coming here since the days that this ballpark played host to the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. They're obviously in San Antonio now. I've been to probably 12, 14 games at this ballpark, about half and half Sky Sox vibes.
But you're also the guy that really knows about branding, and this is your thing. So talk to me a little bit about the transition from that, how it went.
Absolutely. So we had a AAA team here in Colorado Springs. It's about 2.5 hours from where I live in Fort Collins, Colorado. The AAA team, the Rockies cut their affiliation with them. They moved their affiliation to Albuquerque. This was a Brewers affiliate then after that for a short while. And the facility was not quite what Major League teams wanted in a AAA ballpark.
Sure.
And so they lost the affiliation here. They lost the AAA affiliation. The Helena Brewers moved down here. Short season single A team in the Pioneer League. The Pioneer League, of course, was one of the leagues that lost its affiliation, became a Major League partner league. And so they went from AAA baseball to short season.
Independent, yeah. Independent.
Short season and then independent. You know, when the Colorado Springs Sky Sox were here, I interviewed Nolan Arenado on a rehab assignment, right? Like,
Wow.
I mean, it was amazing to have a AAA team here. That was super cool. And so, you know, when they got the short season single A team here, people were sort of bummed. One of the things that it did was it prevented them from having to play baseball in April and May in Colorado Springs. There's a lot of snowouts that happened here,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
So, you know, that wasn't such a bad thing. It was a lower level of baseball, but it's still fun. And then they got this awesome new brand. And so the Rocky Mountain Vibes, you know, is one of the most fun brands, I think, in minor league baseball. Funny story about this brand, my favorite story about this brand was they had a Name the Team contest. It got a lot of attention because one of the team names was Rocky Mountain Oysters, which, as we know, is a food item that not everyone really fully appreciates.
If you've seen Funny Farm with Chevy Chase, and I know no one did, but I did, then you know what Rocky Mountain Oysters are.
It's fried bull testicles. Am I allowed to say that on your show,
It was,
James?
and the best part in that movie was he was keeping count of how many he ate, going for a record, and then he threw up and they subtracted like 7.
That's fantastic.
It was good stuff.
So it was, you know, that got a lot of attention. It was never going to be the Rocky Mountain Oysters, right? That was for fun.
Right.
But the name that won the Name the Team contest was Rocky Mountain Happy Campers. Rocky Mountain Happy Campers just happened to be the name of a marijuana dispensary about an hour away. And so minor league baseball, they knew, and the team knew it. The team was like, yeah, okay, there's no brand confusion there. That's
Right,
fine.
right.
But at the time, minor league baseball, which was independent from Major League Baseball, they got wind of it and they're like, no, we can't do this. So it was sort of a fast one. You know, Rocky Mountain Vibes was not one of the finalists. It was not one of the 5.
Hold that.
Yeah. Ah.
Was not one of the finalists?
Okay. So the thing about it was, you know, Rocky Mountain Vibes was not one of the finalists. So they sort of pulled a fast one, and they pulled this name out of a hat. And the origin of the name is they had all this branding done. They had all of this camping-related branding ready to go, and they only had, like, literally a few weeks before they had to unveil their brand. And so they were thinking, like, what can we do that's camping related? And they were like, what's the feeling, what's the vibe that you get
Got it.
when you are camping in Colorado? And so that's how come there's a whole marshmallow s'more theme, there's a campfire theme, there's one logo that's the marshmallow on the end of a stick shaped like the letter C. So that's why there's a camping theme around the nickname Vibes for the Rocky Mountain Vibes.
And let's be honest, Toasty looks a little...
Toasty looks a little like something that everyone associates with Colorado, even though marijuana is legal in a lot of states now.
Yeah.
Colorado and Washington were the first, so everyone associates us with that. So, you know, there's a little bit of association there.
Pathfinders is what I like to call the first states to legalize that. Texas, are you listening to me? This is our first time seeing a game together.
I love that we're here together.
And the best part is we have another one.
We have 2 games.
We have one more to go.
We are between games of a doubleheader.
Yeah. It's been great, man.
It has been super great. What do we drink? Do we talk about what
So
we're drinking?
we're drinking. So we both got Breckenridge Breweries. I'm having their Palisade Peach Wheat, and actually it's very good. And you know what it is? Because sometimes a fruit beer is too overpowering, but this is just the right amount of fruit.
All right. I've got the Avalanche Amber Ale, just sort of their signature beer from Breckenridge Brewery. and it's just a great amber ale, and I love it. It's
Yeah,
easy
well,
drinking.
Thanks for being on. You guys make sure you're following Paul. Of course, his links and stuff will be on here twice because he also sponsors a segment, but Holler and a Swaller, baby.
Cheers, buddy.
Show me the merch. Fashion, baseball style. Presented by the Baseball by Design podcast.
And welcome to Show Me the Merch. We're here at the General S'more. Huh? General S'more? Toasty? Anyway, this is one of the best brands in all of minor league baseball. Actually, one of the best brands in baseball, period. And as you can imagine, with such a good brand, they've got a lot of cool merch to pick from.
The Vibes have a blast of a brand that will melt your mind and leave you wanting s'more. Yes, I went there. It's my show. I can do what I want. The brand extends to a variety of merch that makes it easy for any shopper to find what fits their tastes. From the Rocky Mountain Vibes jerseys and main look, to the Springs line of gear, to their Copa identity, one of my favorites, the Loronas de Montaña Rocosa. I thought it was cool that they also essentially have two shops, one of which is exclusively devoted to hats. They even had a way of making some more subtle merch, which isn't easy to pull off with such a vibrant, outwardly looking brand. There's definitely something for everyone at the General S'more, which I intend to say as many times as I can.
So again, a lot of great things to choose from the Rocky Mountain Vibes. Make sure that you're getting your stuff directly from the Vibes. And that means online, but do yourself a favor and get out here, shop at the General S'more yourself. Be the first one on your block to shop at the General S'more.
And now on to close it out, the right-hander from Houston, Texas, James Christopher.
So that does wrap up this edition of Let's Get To. This does wrap up our time at UC Health Park, home of your Rocky Mountain Vibes. We've had a great time. It's a very hospitable group of people, and it's just been a very laid-back doubleheader. Had a great time hanging out with Paul Caputo of Baseball by Design. Make sure you're listening to his show. So we have a lot of baseball left to come, both this season and on this trip. On this trip alone, we're going to be out to Montana, Wyoming, and South Dakota. Now, your job is to get out to your local minor league ballpark, support your community, be a part of your community, get you some peanuts, Cracker Jack, and most importantly, Let's Get To.
Let's Get To is presented by Twitchy Dolphin Media. Creative Director, Jessica Bybee-Jedgetts. Executive Producers, James Christopher, Andy Tom Chesson, and Scott McIntyre. Produced by Andrew Nelson and Eric Mertens. Associate Producers, Timothy Jedgetts and Jess Canaster. Music by Andy Bertelson, Grace Usselman, and On Holiday. All content created by Let's Get To is the sole property of Twitchy Dolphin Media. All content created by teams covered in the episode are the sole property of the trademark holders. Let's Get To is a proud member of the Curved Brim Media Network.
This podcast is part of the Curved Brim Media Network. Here are some of the other members of Curved Brim Media.
Hi, I'm James Christopher, host of Let's Get To, and we are going to be taking you on a tour of this great country through the lens of minor league baseball. That's right, from sea to shining sea, we're going to be looking at towns big and small as we explore the greatest game ever invented.
This is Patrick
and Corey
of BaseballMapper.com, and we have made an interactive map to help highlight all baseball teams from the majors down to collegiate summer leagues.
We want to bring you closer to baseball, so get on the site and find a team near you today.
Hi, this is Ed Rivera of the Data Chronicles. Join me as I interview people just like you and players, coaches, GMs on the path that led you to become a fan of the sport.
What's up, Bucketheads? I'm Anna DiTomaso, and each week on the Baseball Bucket List podcast, I speak with a different fan about their favorite baseball memories, what the game means to them, and what's left to check off on their baseball bucket list.
Hey guys, this is Patrick Larson from the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series, and in every episode I go through the history of minor league teams through my personal collection of hats. You can find me on Twitter at @PatLarson1. I hope you guys enjoy.
And I'm Paul Caputo. I tell the story of America one minor league baseball logo and nickname at a time on the Baseball by Design podcast.
Learn more about Curve Brim Media at curvebrimmedia.com.